I'd like to give a small background of how this institute was founded in 1993. Dr. Virendra Hegde had a vision that Mysore doesn't have any world-class higher education B school. So he wanted to start it. Well, the mission was very simple: to create global leaders rooted in Indian values. That is our mission, to put it in a nutshell. And as regards to the vision of the institute is to stand up to the best that is in the world, in the environment, student leaders who bring their local knowledge and contribute it to the global presence of Indian business as well as Indian value system. We have a great heritage in terms of the Indian value system, and most of the world doesn't know it. So what happens is that, you see, even the management what we study is American management basically, and so here itself we have a lot of knowledge, but we do have to merge it with the modern management, which is basically imported management from foreign countries. So we have done work. In addition, there is no kind of though our institute belongs to a religious trust, the Shri Dharmasthala Manjunatheshwara Trust, which is co-located with the Dharmasthala Manjunatheshwara temple, and where rural development, that is aiding the poor and giving employment to rural people, is all popular part. It is all very much a part of the daily life of the Shri Dharmasthala temple, where any given day around 50,000 to 1 lakh people are given food free of cost. And later, Dr. Virendra Hegde established rural development and employment, self-employment centers in 27 districts of Karnataka. Till now, our trust has trained around 23 lakh people. 2 months full-time residential free training for self-employment for rural people. 23 lakh people. Then the same model was replicated all across in India in all the 600 districts. So now they are called R cities under the management of the local state governments, but the model is of Shri Dharmasthala Group, which was formulated by Dr. D. Virendra Hegde. He is our chairman of the governing board. Now, coming on to where we stand from that history. Our trust is basically gives 5 danas. Vidya Dana is one of them. Aushadha Dana, that giving medicines and medical help, is another one. Abhaya Dana, that people who come there for shelter, that is also given. So like that. And we have 2-3 of orphanages which are being run, where students who have studied there till up to post-graduation, they have gone on to become CEOs and others. That is called Siddhavana at Dharmasthala. And so we run only one PGDM program since in our history. That is, we started with a 60 seats with the ACT approval in 1994. Until now, in 2003, we increased it to 120 seats. And in 2011, we increased it to 180 seats. And last year, that is 2023, we increased it to 240 seats. We are very focused. The entire institute is invested in only running one residential PGDM program, ACT approved, NBA accredited. And in addition, by 2015-16, we got the first international accreditation, that is ACBSP USA. And then later, within 1 year, we got the European Federation for Management Development, EFMD accreditation for our program. That has been renewed the 3rd time. And the ACBSP accreditation was given for 10 years up to 2027. And now we have submitted our initial self-evaluation report to AACSB USA. And we hope to get it in about 2 years. And we are in the diamond category of QS iGauge, that is the Indian arm of the QS World Ranking. One day, within the next 2-3 years, we hope to get into the QS World Rankings. Now, coming on to the characteristic of our PGDM program. Number 1, thanks to our P degree from the Shri Dharmasthala Trust, every course taught in the PGDM program will be having an element of ethics and values. That is very important for us. That means it ethics and values are not taught separately. They are also taught separately as only a course. But we want every teacher who teaches here to integrate the ethics and value system. At least one session is for dedicated for ethics and values in both our human behavior as well as in our business behavior. Secondly, we have several relationships with organizations like the National Stock Exchange, the KPMG initiatives in corporate training, and others. So, wherein we have modular programs which are given to the students. In the last 2 years, we took an initiative thinking that that is what is the change happening. We started an ESG modular specialization for students with about 25 credits. And to our surprise, 80% of the students chose to be part of it. Was optional. It is additional work. 80% of the students chose to be part of this ESG modular specialization. And we equally give importance to all the environmental, social, and governance part of the ESG. And we make them do a project and also do an internship on these aspects. Now, coming on to our international relationships. In international relationships, we have partnering institute relationships with several European, US, and other Asian B schools, including a B school in China, Taiwan, Indonesia, and all this. Totally, we have 19 partnering relationships. And right now, as we speak, around 41 students of ours are studying for one term in all these institutes. Our students go there, their marks which they obtain will come into their transcripts, and their students come here to do a 2-week program in groups. As even in our Indian government system, we do not have any degree awarding scope for that. So they come for a concentrated 2 weeks. In that, we bring about, Mysore is the yoga capital of India and the world also. Yoga started from here only. M.N. Joyce and Rama Joyce and B.K.S. Iyengar and all these yoga gurus, great yoga gurus, come from Mysore. So we give them any education in yoga, wellness training, and also make them do the foreign students a project in our Shri Kshetra Dharmasthala Rural Development Program, wherein our trust is involved in doing rural development in about 15,000 villages at any given time. By the way, it is, I'm proud to say that our trust at any given time is managing 3.5 lakh self-help groups of rural women. So this is the kind of pedigree we have. And so our students are proud of this heritage of the institute. And now, lastly, our industry relationships. And you see, SDMIMD has seen ups and downs in its placements earlier. But in the last 5-7 years, in spite of the market behavior of both positivity and negativity, we have been able to place all the students in the batch. This year also, out of 167 students passing out, we have already placed about 115 students now. And we are sure that before our convocation at the end of March, we will be able to place all the students, and with an average salary of around 11 lakh rupees. The highest salary is around 13 to 13.5 lakh rupees. The lowest salary is about 7 lakh rupees. This, in a nutshell, is what we have been doing. Now there are 2 new initiatives which we have taken now, which are yet to give us results. Number 1 is keeping with the times and the technology outside what is happening. We want to integrate all our courses which are taught with the artificial intelligence and machine learning. So faculty are undergoing training in these aspects. There is no requirement of an engineering degree to integrate AI in teaching and learning. So all our faculty are going to integrate in the next 1 or 2 years. And the second thing is about concentrating on student research. We started it as a voluntary product. That is, we offered that any student who is interested to write a paper as a first author with the guidance from the faculty is free to do so. So it started with we started it as a research methodology workshop with 1 credit, and over 70 students attended. And then we gave them an exit option. that those who are not interested to pursue after this training will give a certificate and you can continue with this research. 30 students will be producing. Now 30 students are there. They are going to produce research papers. So next year we'll see the result. So this is about the current and the activities till now. And we think we have a bright future, and we are very, very small in terms of our size. We are only having a student number of 420 now, 180 second year students and 240 first year students. This year, June, it will be 240 plus 240, 480, and there will be about 24 faculty. That is our size. And we are located in Mysore. Many of your colleagues in Career 360 have already seen the campus. It is a state-of-the-art, one of the 10 best campuses in Asia, B-School campuses in Asia. And it was designed by a renowned architect, Shri. We are located in an 8-acre campus, and it is a very conducive learning atmosphere, very salubrious, in line with the climate of Mysore. We give a lot of importance to ethics and values because of our P degree as from the Dharmasthala group. And we are integrating ethics and values in every kind of course. And we are always abreast with technology in anything. So our students get to meet a lot of industry leaders. Normally, there will be 60 plus lectures from eminent achievers. About 2/3 from corporate leaders and about 1/3 from social achievers, from NGOs and others. We also have something called socially relevant project, where students go and spend about 1 week plus with NGOs. The aim is to sensitize them that there is an underprivileged society, which we, the privileged people, should help. So, and afterwards they undergo a series of presentations and their recommendations, and we call those NGO organizers and make them listen as to what our students think of them, and in whatever way we can help them, that we do. And also those organizers are routinely called in our institute to address the students. So this is where we differ. In fact, you may remember N.R. Narayan Murthy, that there is a lot of difference between capitalism and capitalism with conscience. So we stand for capitalism with conscience. We may be a B school, we cover all modern management, but our stand about ethics and values is unperturbed and very, very firm. As I told you, we run only one PGDM program. So we need a student to have passed the degree or about to face the final examination. We try to insist on 60% of marks in standard, 12th standard and degree. And we not only look at their entrance exam scores, and we also look for consistency in their academic career. And irrespective of any kind of background, religion or something, we make sure that the students get opportunity in any field where they want, through students clubs and committees, to showcase their talent. And now coming on to eligibility of marks, as per the ACT, it should be 50%, but we would rather prefer 60%, that is minimum marks. And of course, entrance scores of CAT, XAT, GMAT, CMAT and ATMA. We admit these students. We also have started admitting students who have got a successful GRE score. Normally, cutoff is discovered at the end of our admission process. We are not, if we see value in the student in terms of consistent academic record, but a low score in CAT, we don't mind taking that, or with achievements in sports, games, NCC and all that leadership achievements, we do give importance. So combining all this, we normally have a cutoff. That means it is discovered at around anywhere between 68 to 75 percentile. That means in between that it will fall every year. Our admission process is 3-tiered. That is, first we screen all the mark cards and others with the students sent along with our application. and scores and consistency. And afterwards, we call them for an interview. Interview will be having two parts, and the weightage for consistent academic record is 30%. Weightage for their entrance exam score is around 25%, and weightage for their past work experience is around 5 to 10%, depending on their experience from 6 months onwards up to 3-4 years. And the remaining 35% is for the interview itself. We will be conducting interview, and the interview is conducted by our faculty members. Normally, we take the help of our senior alumni members to join the interview panels. And the interview will be held for about 15-20 minutes. It will be having two parts. First part is about a written ability test. Along with their speech, we want to find out whether they are cogent in their writing ability. Nowadays, people they lose out on writing ability because of they forget to write with their hand because of their mobile and typing and all that. So we give them a general topic, say, for example, Russian invasion of Ukraine or something, which is a news item present, or the whatever is happening, Indian elections 2024 or something like that, where generally anybody will be able to write. Whether how they organize their essay, how they give conclusions, whether they are able to give own opinions in an effective manner. These are all tested in the written ability test. And then once that is over, we conduct an interview for about 15-20 minutes. We find out about the attitude of the student, whether the student is energetic. Youngsters we appoint only for their energy. Else, experienced people can give anything, whether they are having the energy, ambition, and whether they have already discovered what is their what aptitude they already have. All these things we discuss, and based on this, we create a merit list, and in that merit list, we give the admissions. And now, coming after the admissions, we create a dossier for the students, and we keep on mapping the students' progress in our institute. And along with their placement and going out and becoming a successful alumni of this institute, this mapping is done. We see whether we have contributed to the students' development, or it has been very, very stable, or it has gone down. All these we trace, and we keep a close track of the student. Even in the corporate now, the importance for spoken English or English communication skills has gone down now, because Indian businesses have come out, and there are more businesses in semi-urban and rural areas and tier 3 cities and all that. We do have regular managerial communication courses of around 4 to 6 credits. In addition, we bring experts from outside after asking the students who needs English communication skills training, extra training we give them. Otherwise, if you come to our campus, you get to hear all languages in India, all vernacular languages, and many of the retail sector recruiters, they would rather prefer knowledge of a local language. Like, for example, a major constituent of our placements is for the microfinance companies. They want, in addition to English and Hindi, they want that candidate to know at least one local language very well. This is very important. We give equal importance, but the classroom instruction is conducted in English. Degree award is a PGDM degree. And in the first year, there are mandatory courses which will deal with the fundamentals of all branches of management, including economics, communication, and I run a course called Knowledge Seminar, which will introduce them to great management literature, which are not textbooks, including great fiction and non-fiction works. All these are introduced. I introduce them. And like this, when we lay a foundation of concepts, theories, and principles in the first year, in the second year, there is only one mandatory course, that is strategic management, which is a capstone course which covers the activities of all branches of management. And students get to choose electives. Perhaps we can boast that our students have the maximum number of selections in electives in all branches. So they get to do specialization or dual specialization in these areas: marketing, finance, HR, operations, systems, and AI, as well as business analytics. These are the 6 areas. and ESG modular specialization is optional. But it is so happening that everybody wants ESG modular specialization, but that is additional work. So you can say we are having 7 specializations now. In this, they can make combinations and choose their elective. When we started with international accreditation, our first aim was to benchmark ourselves with international MBA programs. And number one, direct benefit of accreditation for the student is that because of our international partnerships with other accredited partnering institutions and universities, about 4 to 5 students can go to universities like Montpellier, like University of Pau, University of that is Paris Paris Business School, and all these places. They can go study there for a term and pitch themselves along with the students from the local students and find where do they stand and come back. That means they get an exposure. That international exposure is the first benefit for our students by our accreditation. That is the first one. Second one is that, you see, we get to know, we take a detailed student feedback when they come back, from their foreign study. We come to know what is the new trend and what kind of latest subjects which are being introduced. You know, we started ESG because we found that most of the European B schools have already introduced ESG as part of the curriculum before anybody else, to set business standards for ESG standards and all that. So we introduced. This is one of the direct benefit which we have got. Third thing is that when we have that international accreditation, we get to meet a lot of foreign faculty who we invite for teaching here at SDMIMD, who will be our visiting faculty, and our faculty go there. For example, I have been teaching in University of Pau for last 5 years on global human resource management. So like that, 2 or 3 of our faculty have gone to University of Montpellier, which is a 600-700-year-old university, one of the oldest universities, and many other places our faculty go and teach, and that leads to faculty exchange. And third thing I'd like to mention, thanks to our international accreditation and our interaction with foreign faculty, scholars, and researchers, perhaps our per capita, the number of research papers is the highest among all the B schools in India. Because we are a very small band of faculty, and per capita, our faculty have been producing more than 5.5 to 6 papers per year in all Scopus and other peer-reviewed journals. And our case studies are published in Ivy, Harvard, and other places. We also have our in-house publications on contemporary issues, on case studies, and also we choose some 10 to 15 best summer internship projects from the students with comments from the guiding faculty. We produce that also as a book. And SDMIMD journal SDMIMD journal also, it is a biannual journal which is produced. These are the 4 major publications which you do internally, and these are all that ISBN number. We hold this number. It is all recognized journals and books. And so international accreditation contributes in these ways. One is students get exposure, faculty get exposure, our research output goes up, and our outlook towards the environment goes up, in a nutshell. When we started our ESG specialization, and before that, what we started with the TCS ION was about 3 years earlier. We felt that subjects like operations management, logistics and supply chain management, strategic management, marketing research, and all that, only theoretical introduction may not do justice in the mind of students. We need to bring them to see the connectedness or interrelatedness between theory that is taught in class and what happens on reality. So we told the TCS ION that you create modules of study wherein industry experts who are seniors with minimum experience around 20-25 years, they come and talk to the students about a course which is, say, for example, a strategic expert, after the strategic management course is over, will come and talk to them for about 6 hours. And then afterwards, a quiz is given to the students. So they'll be able to develop a clear picture as to the relatedness or the difference between what is taught in class and what happens on the ground. Like that, we have identified 8 subjects which are being taught. And for that, TCS ION provides a platform. We are spending a lot of money on that. The institute spends around 35-40 lakh rupees per year on this. But this is done for all the students. All the entire batch of 180 students get this kind of intervention where they can interact with industry leaders who are very senior in that particular domain. So when they go for their job or they want to start their own organization, they have a very clear picture of what is being taught in class, what they study and learn, and what happens on the ground. And as regards to Infosys Springboard, Infosys Springboard, we saw that it is having around 13,500 courses dealing with things which are related to soft skills, ESG and all that. So we supplement our ESG specialization courses with Infosys Springboard courses. That is the relationship. We find great value in both these relationships. What started with BCIC was again to provide more corporate relationship. BCIC is one of the, by the way, you must be knowing that BCIC is one of the largest organization of its kind. There are more than 900 industry members with the Bangalore Chamber of Industry and Commerce. The kind of members they have Microsoft as a member, they have Toyota as a member, they have Alphabet, Google as a member. Whosoever is having any kind of office in Bangalore, national, international company is a BCIC member. All kind of industries. And the BCIC panels, some 18, 19 panels, they deal with all kinds of interventions and activities. So our faculty conduct research for BCIC, and we get a platform where our students can go do industry visits. And whenever the BCIC conducts any program, we send our students, we send our faculty, and at least around 11 of our faculty are on the various panels of BCICs. They get to interact with the industry people. So our quality of teaching and the its connectedness with the reality is always gets enriched. So we are in connection. BCIC is a very, very active, vibrant body in Bangalore. And it is only second to Silicon Valley in terms of the number of members which is present. So we found that it's a very valuable relationship. We have a platform at SDMIMD which is called a SDMIMD BCIC Center for Excellence. And any program we conduct, we invite leaders from BCIC for addressing our students and all that. We find great value in that. That is the kind of relationship we have. By the way, our admission process is does not have any component of management seats. It is purely by merit. We don't have any donation process or something like that. It is only by merit, and it's only whatever is the prescribed fee, everybody has to pay. And the students are not selected based on their caste, creed, religion, or anything. And to give you a diversity picture, in any given year, the state-wise representation at SDMIMD campus varies from 18 states to 23 states. Now, right now, this year, it is 21 states are represented in the campus. And last year, it was 23 states with 1 or 2 students. And lately, we started seeing a lot of students coming from states like Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, and all that. And of course, the largest number of students are from Karnataka, because Karnataka itself has become more involved in new industries and IT and all that. So we get more students here, and a lot of engineering colleges in Karnataka. And regarding the gender diversity, it used to be somewhere around 30%, 32%, say around 2015 or so. Can you imagine? I myself cannot believe. Right now, we are having 49% girls and 51% boys. And I certainly hope that in that academic year 24-25, it will be 52-53% girls and 47% boys. It will become like that. That is the way the number of girls is increasing in the gender diversity. Now coming on to the kind of qualifications, that is degree qualifications. This being a PGDM PG course, degree qualifications. Earlier we used to have a huge chunk of students from only engineering, and now that reduced over a period of the last 6 years. Now there are more BCom students, about 30% from engineering, around 50% BCom, and the remaining 30% the rest from BBM, BBA, BSc, B Pharma, and all that. About 3 years earlier, we also had one MBBS student. That is a person, the student who has already passed and become a doctor. He wanted to do MBA because his father owns a hospital, so he wanted to do MBA for that. And now coming on to SDMIMD's what you call forward thinking in allowing physically disabled students to come to the campus. We have ramps, lifts, and everything which is established in the campus. It is completely disabled friendly, our campus. And in fact, it so happened that one Mr. Akshay Mahajan, he joined in 2019 batch. He was 100% blind. That is 100% visually disabled. So we swung into action, and we found softwares where anything which is written letter is converted into spoken word, and that software used to describe him and all the things which go in the class. We used to provide him recording. We still continue to have him, though we do not have any visually impaired students. So we have become visually impaired friendly also. Even if a blind student joins our institute, we are very confident that the student will go with a value addition from here. Number one is the first step we take is that we keep inviting industry leaders for addressing the students, and also create some opportunity for informal interaction with industry leaders. I had mentioned to you earlier at the beginning that in any given academic year, we have 60 to 75 lectures from industry leaders, invited lectures, including we hold around 4 international conferences. All are very highly subscribed, and that is HR conference. Right now on 18th, 19th, we are having marketing conference. We are having economics conference. We are having finance conference. So like this, and other lectures we have. And that is one is interaction with the industry leaders. Second is that I must mention to you that on any given academic year, including the electives, about 75 courses are conducted as part of the PGDM program. For every course, we take a very detailed feedback from students. And based on that feedback, we keep telling the faculty as to what kind of improvement is required. I take in a confidential manner to the faculty. So changes are brought in very fast. Since our size is small, decision making is very, very easy. And now coming back onto the industry connect, in addition to lectures which are being conducted, we regularly have industry leaders coming as visiting faculty here. Vice presidents, CEOs, they come here, they teach, they take courses, and as part of the regular course, and they contribute to the students. Like our AI and ML course, which is conducted here, AI ML Big Data course, which is conducted by 2 eminent researchers, both are PhDs, who have themselves have a contract from US companies in Bangalore, and they are very popular among the students because they are giving them first-hand cutting-edge research. So this is the kind of relationship. In addition, whichever recruiter comes here, we take both written and verbal, informal, formal feedback from them as to how our students performed in the interview, what we should introduce in our courses so that their ability to get a job or hit the job running will improve. This is the kind of interaction we have with the industry leaders. We are aware that only academic study will not develop any student. Student has to have good interpersonal skills. And say one big contributor to us is our diversity in terms of region. Second, gender diversity. And here we have around 23 to 24 student clubs and committees, starting with the Finacle Club dealing with all financial matters, a marketing club, HR club, every kind of club. And there is a Center for Advanced Learning, which is dealing with things which are beyond the scope of any kind of study, a technology club, a silicon club, which deals with only something to do with computer and electronics. Like that, we have lots of clubs. We have a club called Samprati, which deals only with event management. We have a club called Kalanubhav, which deals with classical music and Indian culture and things like that. So students get to display their talent and showcase their talent, practice whatever they are. There are great musicians from among students, and they interact with each other. Their off-the-class interactions are much more than on-the-class interaction. So like this, we look forward to have a well-rounded personality by the time they pass out. Second thing, all the SDMIMD conferences, though there is a faculty chair, are organized by the students, starting from the moment a guest is decided. A guest is decided, the students take over, keep in touch with that guest who is being invited, and arrange all the logistics and things like that. And on the day, conducting the program, comparing the program, everything is done by the students. So they get to have a taste of what it takes to build a team. And in addition, as I mentioned to you earlier, there is a course called Knowledge Seminar, in which we introduce them every section. And that means the entire batch, batch of 180 is introduced with around 40 books, all classical books. And those books, they get to give a presentation of about 75 minutes. That means the entire batch will take away around 40 presentations from here on books. It is as though reading 40 books in addition to their textbooks, which are not textbooks. So, which are essential. Like you imagine, like you would not, though you would have heard of the book Adam Smith's Wealth of Nations, you may not know what is it about. Student get introduced to that. So, like for example, Nouriel Rubini wrote about crisis economics, about the 2008-9 financial crisis. So student get to know about it. Like this, all these important literature is also introduced. In addition, in the same course, we introduce them individually to one great speech each, about which they write an essay. So like this, their personality get expanded, and they get to see how great leaders behave in their life, how great leaders speak, the choice of words, the effectiveness of speaking or behaving in a particular manner. These are all the things we try to give them a taste of. Technology, I've already mentioned to you, all our faculty now are in the path to integrate. Maybe it will take 3 years now. We started last year. Now, AI, machine learning, for example, we don't prevent our students from using OpenAI. We assume that everybody is using. We don't call it cheating. So what we instruct the faculty is that you formulate your questions and problems for the students such that even if they use OpenAI, they should be made to think and analyze themselves and then give the answer. For example, if you ask OpenAI, the ChatGPT, to give the solution for a problem, it will give you. But if you ask the ChatGPT to analyze its own answer, it may not be able to do. That job we'll give it to the student. So that is how we incorporate. That means whatever is cutting edge is being used here. I happen to attend 2 international conferences of ASESB and EFMD. Most of the things which were discussed in these international conferences were about the use of technology only. So we immediately started it, and we have arranged several talks for our faculty from experts who have already moved ahead in introducing AI for teaching and learning. And so that is how we are taking the path. So maybe already 2 workshops have been conducted by our faculty on leveraging AI for writing case studies. And now second one, leveraging AI for doing research. So like this, small steps we are taking, and I am very, very sure we will be ahead of everybody else in this regard regarding use of technology. Second is regarding sustainability. Regarding sustainability, we were one of the first to introduce the ESG specialization. Now, most of our students, when they go for a job, they proudly show that I have taken the modular specialization in ESG. I am aware, and I am also aware that demands of the industry from Europe and other places where ESG compliance is a necessity. So that means we are already, that means almost all our students are aware of the 17 SDG goals prescribed by the UN. So this is a very normal thing. It is already happening because our trust was also involved in rural development and other sustainability activities. And now coming to liberal education, we actually do not have anything labeled as liberal education, but students do this as a practice through their clubs and committees, and also through the socially relevant project which they do every year in a mandatory manner. You may recall what I mentioned to you about our association with TCS. That is more about hearing from leaders who are practitioners. That is one. Second thing is about your internship. All the internships are qualitatively evaluated and then only given, facilitated by the institute in April and May. For 60-day internship, they go. And it is a credited course, 3 credits. And there will be a faculty guide. There will be an industry guide. And at the end of 3 years, we ask them what they did for 2 months. And a detailed interview will take place at the end of the internship. And the students present a report, and these reports are preserved in both in electronic form and in hard copy. And the internships, through their internship, they get to work and also have an assessment of what kind of business they worked with, and also judge how that particular industry environment can be made better. And their personal learnings are listed. And from out of these all internships, we choose for the 13 to 15 best, and then we give them an opportunity to present it in front of all the faculty and students, and also publish it as a book of chosen internships as a publication. We have a placement manager, and we have regular recruiters who have been coming to us for a long time. And our major branch in which placements take place is from the IT and IT-enabled sector, like Infosys, TCS, and all these people. They come here, big IT, small IT, and all that. And in addition, we have a huge presence for placements in banking and BFSI, banking, microfinance, and other fields, and also these firms which are non-NBFCs. We have a lot of presence. And also lately, in the last 5 years, all the consulting firms like McKinsey and others, they select students from here. And how it starts is every year, our placement manager gets in touch, and our faculty committee overseeing the placements, they also get in touch, and we invite for placement and send them our available student details through a placement brochure, both in electronic form and print form. And they start coming from the month of September. And students pass out by the end of March. And by then, we'll be completing our placements. And another thing is that most of the placements now in offline, they come to the campus and select. And many of the organizations like in Infosys, they prefer online interviews and all that. Only the final stage will be conducted at the institute. Right now, for this year, out of 167 students, we have placed 111 students right now, with an average salary of about 11 lakh rupees. In this year, last year, we could place all the students, again, the similar number, about 170, though, the size of the batch is 180. Many students do not meet the CGPA requirements. If anybody is getting less than 2 CGPA, we do not allow them to sit for placements. They have to improve upon it, and they'll get their job very late. So that is not counted at all. And some of the students, they go back to their family businesses. Some of the students, they prefer becoming entrepreneurs, normally 1 or 2 becoming entrepreneurs. So like that, the number is right now is 167 out of the total passing out students in the 24 batch of 177 students. About 10 students are not there. Out of that, 8 because of merit, and 2 because they opted out of placements. We have admission scholarships, and we have merit cum means scholarships, which are given at the time of admission. For example, if a girl student is having a 60 percentage marks in 10th, 12th and degree, and also is having above the average cutoff level marks in entrance examination, we give about 75,000 rupees as an initial scholarship once they join, and that is adjusted towards the second installment of the fee. And second is that we give similar admission scholarship for male students, wherein they have scored 70 percentage and more. And in addition, for every term, there are 6 terms here. In every term, the top 3 students are given merit cum means scholarships, where it is a substantial amount which is adjusted. So totally we spend about every year 1 crore rupees towards giving scholarships to the students. My message to the MBA aspirant students is that a young MBA aspirant, one is attitude is extremely important, whereas competence can be built. That is my first message. Second one is youngsters are always selected by employers, and also they become entrepreneurs based on their energy. To maintain their energy and be physically, mentally fit and keep themselves healthy so that they can do all the work. To elaborate on that, nobody prefers an old person to join them, though the age is less. So youngsters are always preferred for their energy, ambition and their value system. These 3 things, if they are okay, they'll be successful. This is my message.